Hey, good morning, Corey. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 things that you can do today to help bring in more customers to your business. My name is Seleni McGregor, and I work with business owners across the state of Utah. I'm actually based out of Utah County myself, so just a little further south from you guys. But I put together this quick custom video for you about your online presence and specifically how you stack up against your competition. I'm sure at this point you're sitting there asking yourself, well, why would I be doing this and what is the catch? Well, that's a very fair question. I have found that most local business owners are just too busy actually running their business. They're swamped with payroll, helping customers, answering questions, just dealing with employees and staying on top of jobs. And many times, learning how to leverage the internet to benefit their company just gets buried under all of the other to-dos. And let's be real, half the time, the only reason they haven't hired somebody yet is because they don't know who to trust and who is truly an expert. And that's exactly why I make videos like this. I've found that by giving people an easy, free attack plan of things that they can do to impact their business for free, it's resulted in some of those local business owners still raising their hands and saying, hey, I like you, Seleni. Can you please just handle this for me? So if by the end of this video you've liked what you've heard and you can see that I've got a lot of tricks up my sleeve that could help your business, then shoot me a message back and we can chat. Or if at the end of this video you simply want to take this free attack plan that I gave you and do it yourself, that totally works for me too. Now let's cover the 3 things that will set Bull Matrix restoration above your competition. Those 3 things are first, content, second, citations, and third, backlinks. So first up is content. So since Google isn't a human, it doesn't just know what you do. It needs to be told through your content. So content is basically anything here on your front page that you can see that is highlighted. So this can be the text, it can be pictures, what your pictures are saved as, what's behind the pictures. That can all be considered content. So to show you an example here of what I mean with the images, if we were to scroll up here, we could do a right click and do a save as. We can see what this image is saved as. Right now it's Bull Matrix Restoration Utah Disaster Cleanup and Water Damage. So you can see here, whoever has done your site, first of all, just want to point out as well, your site looks great. Whoever has built your site, I feel like you've got a really awesome thing going on here. So great job there. And then whoever's got your site, I'm impressed because a lot of times I don't see images saved as anything. So great start here with getting a proper description and image file name here. Great job there. A great way to leverage this area with images is to make sure we are always using the high volume and location specific keywords as well. So you do have your name in here, which is great. There could be potentially higher quality words that you can use in here for keywords, but that's a great start for whoever has been doing that portion. All of these things, like I talked about with content, with the images, the text, everything here with content, this is what Google bots are able to read and get an idea of what is this business, what services do they offer, what areas are they targeting, and that's all going to position you in the search ranking. So the goal here is having unique and authoritative content, and you need to have enough of it to be able to add in keywords or key phrases that people are searching for in Google in order for somebody to find the services that you offer. Most business owners know that they need content, but what they don't know is that usually in order to rank number 1 on Google, the average content count is 1,500 to 2,400 words on your home page, while making sure that it contains the right keywords and key phrases that your customers are actually searching for. When I copied all of your content here from your homepage and plugged it into another tool, I can see here that your website is sitting around 985 words on your homepage. So again, just a great plug to be able to bump that up into the 1,500 minimum words and make sure that, again, that you're using those right keywords and phrases. Now, we're actually going to head over here into one of my tools. This is called Ahrefs. It's a really awesome tool. It typically costs a couple $100s a month if you guys are interested to go out and get this for yourself. But it essentially gives me behind the scene details that Google is looking at when it comes to ranking a site and getting an idea of what's working well for you and for your competition. So I actually ran a quick scan of your competition here. This is Utah Disaster Cleanup. I've got them in the Salt Lake Valley area that they were showing up in one of the top positions there. grabbed them, threw them in here. We can see the initial overview of how they are doing. We can see here they've got 389 keywords being found on their website, and what type of traffic that is driving into their website. Now we're actually going to dive specifically in here into those keywords so we can take a look at the exact keywords that they're ranking for and what the customers are searching for every month. As you can see here, they are ranking in the top positions here for a couple of keywords, paying attention to the volume column here, and then of course the keywords. So ranking in a high position for disaster cleanup Utah, that's at 150. This one's a brand, kind of more of a branded keyword, so we're not going to focus so much on that. But Utah disaster cleanup with 170 people every month searching for this. Let's see down here again, fire damage restoration Utah. Again, we're looking for location specific and buyer intent keywords. Some of these could just be more like blog posts and driving traffic to the website. And building brand awareness that way, but not necessarily coming for the services, not keywords searching for specific services there. But you kind of get an idea of what type of things that they're searching for. This one's a great keyword, water damage restoration Utah, with 200 searches every single month. And so that kind of gives you an idea with some of the keywords there. We're actually going to jump over here to your website for bull matrix restoration here. We can see the same overview. We can see that you've got 642 keywords being found on your website and what type of traffic that your website is driving in. So again, we're going to dive specifically into your keywords and take a look at where you're sitting. First plug again, whoever's got your website going on, they've done a great job of adding great keywords. You've got a lot of the same keywords that some of your top competition has here. So you've got the Utah flood cleanup, 60 people per month searching that. You're in the 4th position. That's one of your higher position with the buyer intent keywords, which is great. Your top position here is for sprinkler pipe burst, which sounds like it's coming from a back page from a blog page. So driving people to your page that way would be great. Other than that, that is the highest ranking keyword here. You are sitting on the bottom of the first page for a couple of these other keywords like flood cleanup Utah. That's got 90 searches every single month, but you're in the 8th position for it. Let's see, water damage restoration Riverton. We've got 30 people a month searching that. You're at bottom of the first page again, sitting in 7th position. Again, that's a blog post. Black mold removal Utah, 30 people searching that. You're in the 8th position. Couple others down here. Utah smoke damage restoration, 8th position. Water damage restoration Herriman, 9th position. Again, those both have 20 searches per month. So you can see here, you're sitting at the bottom of the first page for a few of those key terms. Otherwise, if you're seeing anything past roughly the 10th position, you're sitting 2nd page, almost 3rd page, 3rd page, kind of going through 2nd page here. So the biggest thing that I'm seeing is you've leveraged a ton of really awesome keywords here. I do believe that there was a couple specific keywords that I saw potentially missing from that your competition has that had decent search volume that you might want to capitalize for some Utah disaster keywords and some fire damage keywords there in Utah that I didn't see on your website. But I think you guys are using a great amount of keywords and a lot of the right ones here as well. A lot of specific ones to Utah, and then as we saw like Riverton and specific Herriman, Salt Lake City, Provo. You've got a lot of the right keywords here. The biggest area that I think would be able to focus on and leverage, you've got the keywords. So Google is finding you. When people are typing in these queries, your page is showing up, it's being found. The issue is that it's being found on the second, bottom of the first, second, maybe even 3rd page as we scroll down here and see a little bit of these higher rankings. 3rd page here. So my biggest plug here would be we want to be able to help push you up in this position so that you're showing up at the top. So we'll get into that a little bit later as well, but just think of if you were able to capitalize and take in all of that volume that we're seeing being searched here for in a higher position, just what that would do for your company. So pretty awesome to kind of think about that as well. Okay, so we're actually going to now jump over into Google here. Obviously, I typed in one of those high volume keywords, disaster cleanup Utah. When you first type that in, you can, of course, know that you first get the ads section up here. Here's the thing about ads. Ads can work, but they can also be a money pit if your foundation, like your website, isn't dialed in, or maybe if customers are using ad blockers. So just be careful to not burn through any of your money with Google Ads until you know for sure that your site will convert. Like I said, it can be a great play. Just make sure you're smart about when to do those. We're actually going to jump down here below the ads section though to this area. This is the coveted map section. This area has a lot to do with the second important thing that we're going to talk about, which is called citations. So I'm sure you're sitting there asking yourself, well, what is a citation and why do they matter? And those are great questions. So this is called the Google Map Pack. I'm sure you've seen it. You've probably used this section and possibly even thought to yourself, how can I get my company up here on these top 3 searches in the Google Map Pack? That's a great question, and that's about what I am to show you. So to get yourself here in the top 3, the number one thing that Google looks at is a thing called citations. Well, what is a citation? They're super simple. Citations are just your business name, address, and phone number listed on a bunch of online directories like these: Yelp, Yellow Pages, City Star, and so on. But they need to match your Google listing exactly. Having citations like this helps Google verify and give relevance to your local business. So to push your business up on one of these top 3 spots on the map pack, you just need to increase your citation game. When you get more citations than your competition, especially citations from authoritative and industry-specific websites, your credibility boosts and you gain more trust from Google, therefore pushing you to the top. So you might be asking yourself, great, but how do I actually do that? There are paid tools like WhiteSpark or Bright Local that'll tell us the exact directories that your competition here is listed on, and then we can go out and get those. But we don't want to just stop there and match them. We want to be able to dominate them online. So what we have seen here is that most companies are ranked at the top. Usually see them around 150, 200 citations. So if you're pushed below that, maybe second or third page, you might only have 30 or 40 citations. So we need to go out there and get those citations to match your competition, but then we need to beat them online. Google Map Pack has a great advantage because oftentimes the Google Map Pack is pulling in like 44% of the call volume searches come from the Map Pack. So this is a great area to put your business, and you can help dominate in this area. Now, we're going to talk about that last thing that I want to go over with you today, which is backlinks, or often called link juice. This is the third pillar that will really help you dominate on Google. So if we scroll down below the map pack, we get into this area. This is the organic listing section down here. You can see here your site is not ranked number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, anywhere here on this first page that I'm seeing. So this is, of course, where we want to be because Google statistics have shown that the top 3 businesses on Google get about 75% of the clicks, meaning that most of your potential customers are choosing one of these first 3 results and never making it down to your listing. So to get here, you need to beat out your competition in every aspect. You need authority. So how do you get authority? Well, this is where the backlinks come into play. Simply put, a backlink is when one website links to another website online. The easiest way to think about this is simply thinking about a popularity contest back in high school. You want the coolest, most popular kid to be recommending you. So in this popularity contest, the business with the most relevant link juice or authority wins. And I say relevant because not all backlinks are created equal. So you guys are a restoration company, right? Well, you wouldn't want a backlink from an ice cream shop linking back to you because you guys don't churn ice cream. Although tasty, that backlink would be kind of useless to you. But having a backlink from a local insurance company or construction company linking back to you, that would be much more effective. So we're going to actually jump back over here again into my Ahrefs tool. Come back into the overview here. We can see specifically that your website has 62 backlinks coming into it. So this is a great start, but it's not dominant. If we jump over here into that same competitor that we were taking a look at and go into their overview, you can see they've got 809 backlinks pointing back to them, and from very strong relevant sources here as well. So this is where I was talking about where your positioning is a lot higher, landing you on the second or third page on a lot of those, sometimes the bottom of the first. But when you're looking at those, this is where the backlinks comes into play. This is what's going to help push your positioning higher up on the rankings. Again, this is very beatable with time to beat out your competition. Of course, what I've shown you here to get to the top of Google, it is not magic. It's just a tried and true method. And I have shown you that exact method today. So again, the 3 things that you're able to do today to help grow your online presence is first, focusing on that content. Let's bump that up to the 1,500 minimum words and just making sure you do have all those right keywords and phrases and you're capitalizing on all of those that have the higher search volume, especially in the Utah area and then specific cities as well. Second, you want to be able to bump up your citation game as well. Just getting your name, address, and phone number listed on as many online directories to beat out your competition by a landslide so that you are showing up here in the map pack to be able to capitalize on that call volume searching. And then lastly, just focusing on your backlinks, just making sure you have more strong relevance pointing back to your website. That way you are showing Google that you are the authority. If you implement these strategies today, you can be number 1 across Google. Now, I know how tough the market is and I know how dependent small businesses are on third-party companies like Angie's List. I also know how painful it is to pay for leads that are shared amongst your competitors. What I've shown you today gives you control over your leads and an actionable plan that has clients coming straight to your door without a broker in between. So I'm sure you're wondering, okay, well, what now? Well, you really have a few options. If you feel like you cannot handle any more clients every month, that is absolutely fair. Just send me a quick note telling me that you watched my video. Tell me your thoughts about it. I would really appreciate feedback. On the other hand, if you are ready to grow, you can take this blueprint and you can implement these strategies that I've given to you on your very own today. I gave you the exact formula that businesses pay tons of dollars to have, and it's all yours to use to help your company. Now, if you found this information valuable, and if you're still one of those business owners to still raise their hands for the most effective route, just simply respond to my email. We'll set up a time to chat and dive deeper into your specific situation, see what I could really do to help your business thrive. Once again, my name is Seleni, and I look forward to your email. Have a great day.